Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Katie and I'm a stay-at-home mom of 4. I also run the budget shop Purple Glimmer Budgets, which is where you're going to find a lot of the products that I use in my videos. You can find my shop on Etsy or also my website, PurpleGlimmerBudgets.com. My husband and I journeyed to pay off a lot of our high interest debt using the cash stuffing method as a way to control our expenses. If this is something you'd like to follow along with, just keep watching. In today's video, I'm going to be unstuffing my cash wallets for all of the spending that occurred this week. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So here I have my digital planner of all of the spending that happened. These two pages have the same information. This is everything to the nearest penny, and then this is rounded up to the nearest dollar. So let me go ahead and switch my iPad into portrait mode and zoom in so you can see better, and so can I. I'm going to go ahead and put my calculator up there for now since we're not using it, and just move that kind of out of the way. So, we did a lot of spending this week. A lot of it was in eating out, but it does look like I think our grocery budget is going to be under budget, so it'll just be interesting to see how this played out. Yes, we got Domino's 2 nights in a row. I'm trying to think. So our weekend was really kind of crazy this weekend. Friday, we went to go look at an Expedition at a dealership really close to our house. The sales guy was a jerk, so we moved on from then. And then we kind of latched on to the idea that, you know what, sooner rather than later, we really do need the Expedition as opposed to the Explorer that we had. So we kind of scoured the internet and we found another one that would really fit within our budget and the features we wanted. And so that one was about 45 minutes away. So we called up. It hadn't even hit their lot for like officially to be sold. So we reached out to one of the salespeople and he's like, well, it's not been detailed yet. So we can see if we can get it in and detail it to see Saturday, or you might have to come back Monday. And my husband's like, if I have to wait till Monday, I'm really not interested. I'm trying to find something this weekend. He's like, well, let me see what I can do. So then he reached out to detailing and he's like, how about you come and look at it at 2? So we kind of piddled around the house because that was around 10 a.m. And then we went ahead and drove out to the dealer and got there like right around 2. They didn't actually have the car ready until like 2:15, and it wasn't really fully detailed, which is fine because we told him, like, we don't care if it's dirty or not. Our car gets dirty anyways with 4 kids, so it's not that big of a deal. So around 2:15, it was ready for my husband to kind of look at it and test drive. I didn't test drive it at all because I hate driving big vehicles like that anyways, so I don't really like to drive unless I absolutely have to. So I didn't really need to test drive it. I kind of test drove the Expedition at the dealership closer to our house. So, I mean, it was fine. I kind of trusted him and everything. So he test drove it, and it was crazy because our youngest son, he was like super excited, like going crazy, really wanted the car. And like, dude, you need to chill out a little bit. There's like nuances to buying a car. I mean, he's 7, so he doesn't know any better, but our kids were like super crazy excited, really wanting the car. So yeah, we had 4 kids at the dealership. That was a fun experience, especially considering our 2-year-old had not yet napped and ended up not napping at all. So our weekend was really crazy. So you'll see vending here that was for at the car dealership because we went ahead and got snacks for the kids, and then things just kind of went crazy for the weekend as far as feeding. I just got really stressed out, and when I get stressed out, I'm like, I don't feel like cooking, and then that's kind of how we end up eating out quite a bit. So yes, we did have Domino's 2 days in a row. I think what happened Monday was I got really overstimulated with my kids. My 2-year-old was like literally yelling at me, crying, throwing a fit for like an hour right before my big kids got home. And when my big kids get home on Mondays, we have about 30 minutes. Then I got to load them up in the car and take 2 of them to therapy. But my kids like came running in the house and like screaming, and that just like threw me into overload. So my day was horrible. So I told my husband, I'm like, I'm not cooking. I'm like shutting down right now. I can't handle it. I'm overstimulated. It's just not going to happen. So that's kind of another reason why we ate out quite a bit. So anyways, that was kind of what happened there. Let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to see where I want to start. I have a feeling I might need to grab my cash stash. So let me grab that just to have it available. Okay, so I have it off to the side in case I need to make change. So let's see if we can do that without this. So I guess let's go ahead and start in the purple wallet. And then you will also notice, kind of going back to the whole buying a new car thing, there's no gas expense this week. And that's because when we traded in our Explorer, it had like hardly any gas, and they filled the tank of the Expedition, so we actually didn't have to do any gas this week because I don't really drive my van too much, so it gets filled up maybe once every other week. And I want to say the week before was the week that my husband filled it, so that didn't need filled. And then my husband still has a quarter of a tank of gas right now, and he's like, well, I could fill it today, or I can just fill it tomorrow. I'm like, how about you fill it tomorrow, because tomorrow's day one of our spending, and then I can just not have to deal with that. So that's where we're at with gas. So we don't have to unstuff anything there, which is super exciting. But groceries, we do. So I have two things of groceries. For school lunch last week, I counted it as kids because we were really over on groceries. But this week, I think we were actually within budget. So I'm like, you know what? It can be groceries too. So that's kind of a spending that I'm going to like flip-flop back and forth depending on how our budget lays out. So it looks like between the actual groceries we did at Walmart and then their school lunch, 148 is what I need to do for groceries. So for now, I'm going to do 150. I don't have any singles, so I'm just going to go ahead and put in here a -2 just to know that I have $2 built in over there, because I mean, I don't want to break into my extra cash for that, because groceries is kind of one that goes back and forth. If I get a hold of singles later on in a category to pay it back, then I will. But for now, I'm just making that note there. So eating out, let's see how bad we did there. So Domino's, 59 the first time, and then 65. And then we did Applebee's, which is nice. Okay. So those, and that. And then we did McDonald's after we were done with the dealer. And then I think that's everything. So 275, which honestly, that's not completely terrible for eating out because I'm known to like going super crazy. So plus 75 for now. Let's see what we have in spending. 20, 40, 60, 70. So I'm going to go ahead and put all of this there. So then I'm going to erase this. So hold on. So -2 from groceries, and then plus 5 is still owed for eating out. And then since I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and do the $10 that I have flagged for miscellaneous. This was like the vending. I guess technically that could have been in groceries, but I'm like, you know what? We had the money in miscellaneous. I'm just going to call it miscellaneous. So I think that's everything for this purple wallet, which we might come back here to like go into miscellaneous to get some things, but I need other denominations of cash over there. So we'll just go ahead and move on. So in here, the first envelope is personal care. So I have 20, 40, 60, 85, 6, 7, 8, and I think I just have the 1 here. So I'm going to put the 20 here and I'll take the 10 back. And then we have, let's see, 20, 40, 60, 75, 6, 7, 8. So 78 still in personal care, which is great because I want to say next week or so I have my hair dye coming to the house. So let me check that off. And then household is the next one. So that's going to be 26 and then 11 and then 26 and then 60. So 123. So let's see what we have here. So I have a $100 placeholder, another $100 placeholder, 20, 1. Okay, I might break the 5 just because that is something that I can see myself breaking. Okay, so I have the 5 here from household. I'm going to move it off camera so that way I don't use it. And then I have 5 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So then we have 123. And then I like to use the placeholders when I can, like for big like amounts of 100, so that way I'm not sending cash back. I'm maintaining our buffer, I guess. I don't know, it's just confusing what I'm trying to explain there. Basically what I'm trying to say is if I'm like using 100 from that category, and there's a placeholder in there, I like to use the placeholder so that way I'm not depleting our buffer, I should say. So, I mean, I'll condense it later on once it grows back up to 100, but I think that it's better to send the placeholder back than to just send the cash. I don't know, I guess that makes me condense more often, but it just kind of works for me. So, we're good there. I think I did everything for household. So let's see what the next one is. There's nothing for clothing. For kids, there's 2. So kids is $33. I got some fidgets for my son, and then $40 for parents' night out. So I got this really cool travel fidget case. So it's like a suitcase looking thing, like a little, I guess, a briefcase, and it's made out of like poppets on the front, so like they can like poke the little poppet things, and then inside it has a bunch of fidgets that my kids like. My kids are very like sensory seeking, so I thought it would be fun for them to have. So it's got some of like those spinner things, it has a Rubik's Cube and some different puzzles, and so I bought that for our youngest son, and he really liked it, but then his siblings all wanted it. So one thing I found with having 4 kids is sometimes you have to buy multiples of the same toy to eliminate fights, because my kids, I wish they would share more, but they're not very good at sharing. So just to kind of lower the probability of fights, I'll sometimes buy in duplicates. I mean, I'm very blessed in the ability to be able to do that. So we do that. And then the funny thing is my 2-year-old also like saw it, and she like had to have it. So funny thing is she got a fidget case before my 9-year-old did. So this fidget case is for my 9-year-old. I tried to get him, because he really likes the color red, and the fidget case only came in like pink and blue. So I was trying to like build something similar using other items, so it wasn't going to have like the pop-it briefcase. So I found like a pop-it pencil case. It wasn't big enough to really do what I was envisioning. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and buy the travel fidget case set, because it's easy, it's affordable, and it's just, I don't have to like think too much. So he's finally getting his own fidget case. So he's really excited about that. So let me see if I have enough in here. I'm pretty sure I don't. So this is 60. So then I need 13. So let's see. Sorry, my husband was texting me about sending him a phone number to cancel our warranty on our old car. So I'm not sure if it's going to be in this video or if I'm going to edit that text message out. But just letting you know that that's why there's a weird cut here. Okay, so I owe myself $2 to, let me just see what this is. I owe myself $2 for the excess and eating out. So 5 plus 13 minus 2 is, so I'm like negative 16. So let's see here. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in here, and I'm just going to go ahead and take the miscellaneous out. So I'm going to take 2 back from here, and I'm going to pay back the $2 for groceries. So I can erase this. And then I'm going to take $10 and I'm going to erase this. So then I owe 3, so that would actually be 8. So I'm $8 in the hole right now for what I spent, which is fine. We'll find a place to get it from. We're still working on the pink. So let me check off the kids. And then the next category is pet care. Yes, that is correct. It says dog diaper. Our older dog, he gets mad and he likes to pee on things in the house, especially white things in the house. And the 2 new couches that we got, they're a light gray, but to him they're white. I don't know how he can tell like what is what, because dogs are supposed to be pretty colorblind, but he always finds something white, and when he's mad he pees on that. So I've been coming down to the basement and constantly finding all these pee spots all over there. And I told my husband, I'm like, I'm tired of mopping the floor every single day, multiple times a day, because this dog gets mad and pees. So I'm like, you know what? We've put him in a diaper before, so we're just going to do it again. And it's not like a real diaper. He's a male dog, so it's like a belly band, so it like goes over his area, so he can't pee, because it's not like he's incontinent. He's just mad. So that's what that is. Okay, anyways. Sorry, I was responding to my husband's text. So that's the diaper situation. So $33. Let's see if we have that in here. So let's see. We have 3. and then 100. So let me take back 70. So I have 71, and then we'll put those 3 in here. So we are good there. And then vacation, actually car maintenance is first. $29. Typically, what we use this for is our car wash subscription. But there was like one item that was kind of missing from the vehicle that my husband kind of wanted. It was like some type of tray within the center console. So I found a spare or like a replacement piece of it on Amazon. So that's what that's for. So I figure I'm like, that can come out of car maintenance. And then lawn care. Yeah, that's back from August. I, for some reason, was spacing on whether my husband had paid our lawn care bill or not. And so I found that the last time we paid was back in August, and I never unstuffed it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So it's $280. I'm going to go ahead and do the 300, and then we'll take a 20 back. So we have 20, 40, 65, 67. So $67 for lawn care. So it'll be interesting to see once we're like done with mowing, like how I did. If I'm going to have an IOU that I'm going to gradually pay back, or if I ended up stuffing enough. Plus it's going to get even extra interesting because we got to find a new company next year. So we will see. And then the last thing is vacation, which for some reason I was thinking my peak wallets, but it's in here. So I went ahead and booked our vacation, one of our vacations for next year. So we have a timeshare, so we use points, but then we have to pay like a reservation fee, and then that's all that we have to pay at that time. So it was $120. So I went ahead and booked that. We're going back to Myrtle Beach next year, and we're gonna stay in one of the like super fancy rooms. So it'll be exciting. It's not going to be the same resort that we stayed in this last time, with it being like a brand new resort to the timeshare. It's just been very difficult for us to get in, but literally across the street is another one within our company, timeshare company that we have. So we're going to stay there, and the rooms are actually like a lot nicer there than they are in like the newer resort, because our timeshare has like fancy rooms and then like standard rooms, and in the new resort, the fancy rooms, there's really not much difference in them versus the standard rooms, except for in the fancy rooms you can get up to 3 and 4 bedrooms, and so that's like really the only difference. So if we ever go there, we would use a standard room there just to kind of save on points, but they're like all booked, and we don't want to spend the extra money on the fancy rooms because there's really not a lot of value in that. But in the resort across the street, it is really worth it to stay in the fancier rooms versus the standard rooms, because there's a significant difference in finishes. So we're going to stay in like a 4-bedroom super fancy room there. My husband's coworker that he used to work with, he's going to come, him and his wife and his son, they're going to come with us and stay there. So it'll be really nice to check that out. Plus, I want to say some of the amenities are more geared towards something our kids would enjoy. The resort we stayed at this year at Myrtle Beach, it was like super nice beachfront, really pretty, but it was very lacking on the amenities. It had a pool, but there really wasn't much to it. So we're gonna check out the other one. My husband and 3 of my kids have been to that resort before, not for very long. They were there for like a couple of days. They were supposed to be there for a whole entire week, but I was back home pregnant, not sure if I was going to end up going into labor early or having to be induced early, so I was staying back just in case, and that's what happened. I ended up having to go to the hospital and ultimately get induced with our 4th child. So my husband was stuck in Myrtle Beach with our kids and his parents, and then had to try and come home. Well, he decided that he was going to wait until after Memorial Day to drive home, and our daughter was born on Memorial Day. So that was just kind of like a little fun fact. They were on property when I was giving birth to our 4th. So they've been there. I have not. I've walked the property, but I've never like actually stayed there. So it'll be nice to kind of check that out and see. So that's just kind of the happenings over here. So I still owe $8. Do I have? I do. So I have this. Let me break one of these 10s into 2 5s. Okay, so I have 2 5s. Get this 10 out of the way, and then I'm trying to think of where I want to put this back in at. No, I owe $8. I don't owe myself $8. Okay, so I was getting a little excited. I'm glad I like thought through that. So now I need to find $8 somewhere to put back here. So let's try vacation. So I have $3 from vacation. I don't have any 5s there. I don't think I have any 5s in gifts. Let me think of something that I would have 5s in. I might have 5s in household. Household or personal care. Let's go with household. Do I have anything? Do I have a 5? Nope. Let's try personal care. Yeah, I have a 5 in personal care, so we'll just go ahead and steal it from there. So now I should have the right money over there to balance. I was jumping ahead of myself thinking that I owed myself $8, but no, I spent more, $8 more than what was in the actual stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's go ahead and add all this up and see if it all balances and if I messed anything up by making things a little more complicated than they needed to be. So $1,101. So I think I might be okay here because there's 6 there. We'll see. So let's go ahead and get all this counted. I went ahead and unstuffed a bunch of placeholders, so it won't be a ton of cash necessarily going back to the bank, but it is what it is. I'm gonna move that over here, and then I also have been liking to just write down the total amount, so that way I have it. Let me move this over so I can see it better. There we go. There we go. Okay, so 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 100, 200, 300, 54, 20, 40, 60, 85. So that's 1,000. I guess let's stack it up. So this is 1,000. So 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 5, 90. So I'm off somewhere. Where am I off? So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 51, 20, 40, 60, 80. So that's 1,000. I messed up, so I got to figure out where I messed up at. 20, 40, let's see, 20, 40, 60, 70, 85, 95, 6, 7, 8, 9, 101. So I'm off by 100. So where would I be off? Okay, I've been like stressing trying to figure out how this is not adding up correctly because it should be 1,101, and I'm realizing that I just don't know how to add 1,000 plus $101. So I'm just gonna recount this, make sure that's right now that my brain's back online properly. So we're gonna go through this again. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 59, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1,000. 20, 40, 60, 70, 85, 95, 6, 7, 8, 9, $101. So 1,000 plus $101 is $1,101. So it's all here because I was like freaking out. I'm like, okay, where did I not pull an extra $100 from? I was like, okay, fine, let's think through. Where am I okay pulling an extra $100 placeholder and calling it good for now? So my brain just is not working right. So sorry about the confusion there. Again, I'm just realizing that it's not going to be a video of mine without me being a hot mess. That's just who I am. So thank you so much to those that like continue to come back after this. I really appreciate it. So I hope you guys got some sort of entertainment or enjoyment out of me making a complete mess. But anyways, I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.